name is Hunter, and this is gonna be about the second year so far. So, as you most likely guessed it, it's the half of the second year. And boy oh boy am I excited for it. So, you see, let me just briefly sum up what I'm gonna do in this video. I'm gonna quickly talk about like the experience that I've had so far, some personal opinions here and there, and a little bit of advice for you guys to keep in mind later on. So let's just start off. Second semester is here, and man, am I tired. Like, and this is the point where you are used to it and feel old, like you've spent your entire life here, which is funny because you still don't know much. But hey, at least you A, act like you do, and B, you feel like you're just old. So I'm gonna have a very, very hard second semester, like in terms of the second year, because I am taking a little of additional courses, in fact, two. But thank God that my schedule is still fine enough. As you can see, I'm having some gaming stuff that I upload. I'm still doing this, which means that, hey, I'm somehow managing it. It's better than the first year when I claimed that I was super strict on schedule and couldn't do stuff. Well, here's a reality about that. It's not about how much time you have left at the end, it's how you manage that time, how you distribute it. So I had issues with that last year and the last semester as well. I felt like I just drove myself into a tight corner where I would procrastinate for very long and hey, play for just hours and hours, thinking that hey, I'm just gonna, at the end of the match, I'll just quickly jump to another thing or just quit the game and go outside or something. Never happens. So how I fixed that, let me just quickly get you over that process. I started recording the gaming part and I said, okay, I'm gonna put some games on my channel too. Despite the fact that I don't want to be specifically a gaming channel, but I do spend a lot of time playing games and I kind of don't want it to be for nothing too. So kind of forced, so to say, I combined these two things, that I need to record something, or let's say I want to record something, but then I want to play as well, and in those days I can just do both. I don't know if it makes sense. I mean, the gameplay, so far so good, but as I said, my laptop screen doesn't match the resolution of YouTube, which is a shame, but whatever. At this point, if anybody watches, I hope they do it for the content, not for the resolution. And sorry for the fact that I look really messed up at this moment. I don't know what's gotten into me in terms of fashion, or what's gotten out of me, let's say, because I'm so far away from dressing properly and just looking properly. I don't know, just don't spend time on myself. Doesn't make sense. So, as I said, second year is the time where you're just like, oh, settle down already. You're just don't care. You know the tricks to everything. You know that you can skip some classes and you can't skip some. You start to realize and have like different priorities regarding the classes, the homeworks, and the way you study. And you kind of stop taking some things seriously because of the fact that, especially if you did like me and spend most of your time doing nothing, you will realize quickly that, hey, you can pull this off if you're actually trying. And now you're sitting here and you're like, man, I can pull it off again. And I mean, sitting and doing nothing and then prepping in the last week and making it somehow, well, that's university for you. But onto the advice that I want to give. So, first year is the most important thing in terms of social life. Maybe you came to this video for this social life aspect of it. Hopefully you didn't. I'm not the most social person alive. First year is the most important year to make impressions. And believe me if I say so. Because now when we hang out with my friends or just anybody, usually the topic will segue into the first year. even if you're talking to the freshies who came here just this year, like our first years now, when you talk to them, generally the subject will tend to go to your previous year, which was your first year, and how you experienced it. And if you kind of spend that on a low point, you would have nothing to talk about pretty much. And which adds up to the experiences that the friends you have generally, like the good friends, not the ones that you just say hi to and talk once a year or not, you will actually make your base friendship, like your circle, in the first year. That is very important. So to anyone out there who has yet to become a first year or is a first year, just focus on that. Don't be afraid to go out. Don't be afraid to say hi to people. Even if you just say hi casually, not get into a serious conversation, not become like real friends or something. Just say hi, just talk about the weather or whatever. Just you'll realize that these people will not forget you like after the first year. So that's important. The impression that you make will stay with you for a long time. I made the impression of a psychopath who doesn't talk to people. So, I mean, does it reflect me? Debatable. But another advice that I want to give to you is just control yourself. What I mean by control yourself is just have a schedule. Not necessarily study. This is one of the least concerns. If you start to live away from your parents and like away from all the friends that you had, like a different country or something, you get the gist. Then you'll definitely need something to keep you up mentally, let's say. So just hold on for a second.
Oh no, another one of these not bad unboxings. What could it be this time? Ooh, look, my hand's shaking. This is emotional. Got me some new friends. Hey, bought these today.
I'm social, I swear. This is the solution. Now you might say, what? And you would be right. Like, really, what plans? Now you have plans. Wow. You're really social, aren't you? So the whole key here is that I bought these plans recently and it helped me out. Now what do I mean? It's not like I'm having real friends. By the way, I'm gonna be holding these plants in my hand for the rest of the video because I feel like it. So the whole so why I kept them is literally you have to take care of something. You have to give them sunlight, give them water, you name it. You most likely had a plant. Is that a big assumption to make? And the thing is, I started opening my window. I started going outside to get them some additional, I don't know, sunlight or something. This is literally the only thing that starts keeping me outside of my room. You just start having a proper schedule. You start just standing up from your chair and looking after something. If it's doing good, if it needs some water, if it needs anything else, you just observe and you take care, all of that you miss while you're just, having the life where you're literally AFK from everybody else, let's say. It's just a big stretch, of course. You can make some friends instead and, hang out with them too. But if you're like me, I mean, this is the thing, this is a go-to. Just give it a shot. Buy a plant, give it a shot. You'll see that you're gonna have a drastic change in your behavior. And like generally you'll be taking care of something. And you'll realize like with this care process you might find something for yourself that you would care about yourself more too. But okay, let me not over exaggerate my new friends here, despite the fact that I really am so glad that I bought them. Can't even explain to you. So, in terms of courses, second year is just a joke, in my opinion. Like the first year is, I feel like it's gonna be the hardest. In general, I don't know. I have the third year still, but hardest because after high school, university is a different experience, and once you realize that you can skip lectures or not do some of the homeworks, shit is not mandatory. You start just not doing it, or maybe you take it as a this is gonna be easy after all, because you see some of the things that you think you saw before, like calculus 1 and 2, let's say, and you're like, man, I'll do it. And then you realize that it's not that easy after all, and you've been skipping all of the lectures anyways. So, I mean, first year is the hardest and the most important in terms of like building up the character that you are. So, just keep that in mind. But I'll be surviving, as you can see. I started adapting different things. You know, this channel was the first thing that I came across as being a student, because man, if you don't talk to people and if you have a single room like I do, like single, let's say that I just have my own bed and my bed is surrounded by four walls and my roommate's bed is surrounded by different four walls, which means that, you know, I have some private space. And it results with me just being isolated most of the time. And hey, if you don't have that, just be happy that you don't. Yeah, you don't have the private space and something, but at least you don't really just put some chains on yourself and end your life. You know, it's really hard if you're retreating back to this cave of yours every day. It's eventually gonna just hit you so hard that you're gonna be like, oh, what is happening to me? What am I gonna do? Being social is really important. I always thought, yeah, whatever, what if I don't have that many friends? I'll just play games. That's what I do anyways. I don't go outside much. And that kind of screwed me over, because turns out that, hey, humans are social beings. You kind of need that. It's a need. And, oh, man, really just talk for the sake of talking. I started a YouTube channel because of that, because I had no one to do that. Like, I felt like I had to express myself more, and it really helped me out. And now this. I mean, if you're in the same situation, go ahead. I suggest you start one too. I mean, look at me. I have 37 subs. Does it even matter to me that the fact that nobody's watching, or like the fact that this is not going anywhere? No, because as I said, this is like a good way to keep myself entertained, let's say. You should consider it too if you have those same issues. Anyways, I kept you for too long. I wish you all a wonderful day. Really consider having a plan. I mean, I've talked about the student aspect of it, but trust me, it's really nothing compares to it, I feel like. I'll see you all in my future videos, and remember, just do whatever you want, man. As long as it's not against the law.